Alright. Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game, Sock versus Infi. This game taking place here on Autumn Leaves 2.0. Infi spawning as the teal orc on the bottom left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Sock spawning as the orange human over here on the top right. Let's take a look at the heroes. It will be an Archmage. Yeah, Archmage going up against a Farseer. Battle of the Brains here, as we are looking for that War Mill and that Solo Barracks. We are looking at perhaps a single grunt into those headhunters, as headhunters have become more popular again with that 25 hit point boost, which was removed, well, not too long ago. Anyways, Archmage gonna go ahead and try and militia clear out this goblin merchant shop, and it looks as though the Farseer may accidentally just pass by here. This is some high-level play, as Infi is trying to disrupt his opponent, and, well, is going to end up not finding him all that quickly. Claws of Attack +5 already picked up here. Forest Troll Trapper about to get taken down. There it goes. A little bit of damage getting racked up here. Forest Troll Berserker also going to get taken down, giving level 2 to the Archmage. And with level 2 on the Archmage, Circlet of Nobility already dealing +7 damage per attack, and that does add up quite quickly. Forest Troll Berserkers trying to engage against all of these peasants here. You can see a couple of the Frost Wolves are there as well, as this one peasant perhaps going to try and dive on inside. Yeah, going to be able to go ahead and dive on inside here, trying to use that malicious speed walk, and now the Archmage has just slowly been adding damage onto that Farseer, forcing that Farseer to retreat. That Farseer, down to 113 hit points, doesn't have a healing salve and is still taking more fireballs there. Alright, Archmage trying to add in damage onto a Headhunter. Headhunter is going to be forced to retreat back. Meanwhile, these wolves, unable to spot where this militia actually went, now retreating back. Nicely done, well played by Sock, as Sock now turning tail, trying to show the rear end of that horse and get away quickly. Infi with reinforcements, now with headhunters, a decent number of headhunters and spirit wolves will be able to catch up. Archmage, important to note though, is full on mana at this point in the stage and is going to be picking up boots of speed. That Archmage, who was difficult to outrun before, going to be that much more difficult now, as we're looking at some spirit wolves trying to engage here. Meanwhile, a group of footmen still wandering around, perhaps hoping to catch a headhunter out of position here, as the Archmage now goes after some of these early units, perhaps to rack up a bit more experience. However, Infi just going to go ahead and resummon those Spirit Wolves again. 25 supply compared to 28. Those headhunters do have that benefit of range. There's a little bit of an exchange there, but with the sheer numbers for Infi, well, Infi is going to win those trades at least for now. As the tech to tier 2s have been well started and Infi nearing the completion of that tech to tier 2, we're going to be looking at what other heroes will be trained up. The Farseer has been solo working all this time and does need to go back home, get that Voodoo Lounge and up and running, and try and get a little bit of healing before he tries to do some creeping on his own. The Archmage is going to benefit, knowing that he has level 2 on that Archmage, some decent items, and picks up a Forest Troll Shadow Priest as well. Footmen also have the Fen, so they're able to reflect back quite a bit of that damage. Only the Sasquatch, the real problem or issue here. Second Water Elemental could be summoned down, as we're looking at a Mana Stone now dropped for the Archmage, not perhaps maybe given later to a Mountain King or other other mana-intensive hero. Sasquatch there, well, you can see him, that additional inner fire giving so much additional mana or hit point, effective hit points or damage mitigation. As the Forest Troll Berserker gets taken down, giving one more shot, level 3 to that Archmage. Meanwhile, Farseer is now at level 2, has done some light creeping in his own neck of the woods. Archmage does have level 2 water elementals. We're going to see some summons, perhaps. Footmen do have the Fend. They quickly threw up their shields in time before the headhunters tried to throw any of those javelins. The Archmage still leading the charge here, and the Tauren Chieftain does not have a skill yet. No Shockwave. All of those footmen were lined up perfectly, and now with the Shockwave chosen as the ability, Sock does not have easy way to heal up all of these units just quite yet. Gonna go ahead and retreat back with them them instead. Goblin Alchemist, all right, well, if you need healing on the go ahead and grab that Goblin Alchemist. Going to be able to healing spray all of these footmen here, and there you are back up into that, yellow-green zone already. Archmage could drop down some water elementals. There's the Farseer as well. Tauren Chieftain wants to line up some more shockwaves. Shockwaves are rather, well, mana intensive, so the Tauren Chieftain already, only after one shockwave, still down already. We can see a couple of, well, healing sprays being used here. Shockwave should be inbound here, trying to line up all of those units to take them down. There's a Purge onto a Spirit, onto a Water Elemental. More healing spray trying to be used to try and keep these footmen alive and well. Footmen with Defend actually able to reflect back quite a bit of damage. The Shaman's Purge taking down one Water Elemental, only to see another one take its place. All right, more healing spray, and well, healing, no more friendly healing, allowing those units, allowing the Alchemist to stay on top there. A shockwave does find the back of a footman here as both sides exchanging blows. Alchemist, well, does have that mana stone and is, well, also getting some bonus mana regeneration from that Archmage here, as we don't see the War Mill with reinforced defenses yet. All right, one Orc Burrow going to get taken down pretty easily. Second Orc Burrow could get taken down as well. Archmage looking to back up those reinforced defenses, well, causing problems as we are nearly supply blocked for Infi. All right, Water Elementals now making their way back. Are those Orc Burrows going to get lost? That is the question here. Double Water Elementals could take down those Orc Burrows rather fast. Meanwhile, Archmage is still in that back position, trying to rack up damage onto the back line here, and just a lot of intensive fighting overall. Archmage trying to get away, down to 107 hit points, still trying to retreat back. One Water Elemental is gone here. Second Water Elemental is in that frontline spot, was able to poke down that Shaman here, as we still see massive repairs underway for this War Mill, or for this Orc Burrow, to keep it alive. Okay, finally a Purge to finish off that Water Elemental there. More experience given. Tauren Chieftain now getting closer to level 2, as the Farseer is nearing level 3 as well. Back at home, we should be looking at, yeah, dual Arcane Sanctums in the midst of tier 2 now, and training up a Sorceress and a Priest. Bunch of low hit point units were able to retreat back home. Clarity Potion used by the Archmage and the Alchemist, and what needs to get up to level 2 perhaps for Chemical Rage or Acid Bomb. Back down to the south, Tauren Chieftain, well, wants to get that level 3. We know how important those odd levels are for that second hero, as the effectiveness of their seconds, of their primary spell, well, just effectively doubles. Alchemist now trying to catch up to this Farseer here, who is under the effects of slow. The Spirit Wolves actually getting in a little bit of the way here, as the Farseer, well, able to shake off that slow, shorter duration on heroes and slip away. Militia now being called over. I'm not sure where they're going. Perhaps are they trying to do a tower attempt, or are they trying to go for an expo? No, that doesn't look like the case. It looks like the militia are all just funneling out across the field. That is a large number of militia, considering there's only 2 workers now. I don't know if the War Mill or if the lumber harvesting upgrades are completed. All right, Scout Tower 1, 2, and 1 and 2 are already completed. Raiders are now out here on the battlefield, and here we are. Here we go. Scar Tower is now getting upgraded. Militia in position. Priest are here, and this is a tower attempt at the 10-minute mark of this game. All right, Forest Troll Berserker a little bit too close to the action, should be backing away. Not quite sure what's going on here. Guard Tower and Arcane Tower still upgrading here, as the Shamans getting some purges down onto those Water Elementals, giving level 3 to the Farseer. All right, there's level 3. There's Chain Lightning bouncing around across that entire back supporting army, as the Guard Towers and Socks, well, just entire push is going to fall a little bit short. Lightning Shield, a beautiful Lightning Shield across multiple units. Perhaps going to take down some of those peasants. Lightning Shield now getting applied as the Archmage teleports back home. Is he going to get taken down because of Lightning Shields from those priests? No, he is not. All right, the layout and the positioning on those priests, depending on how the Scroll of Town portal well placed all of those units back, could have ensured more dead units. Instead, we only saw just one. Do you follow Stormgate development? Gameplay feels quite Warcrafty. I do follow Stormgate development. I actually have the icon on my desktop. So yes, I do. Yeah, I've been following it, and doing some plays. Playing any well, yeah, I'll deviate into a little bit. Playing any new real-time strategy game, um, there's always that initial learning curve, even if you are experienced in real-time strategy games, trying to get all of that muscle memory for that specific game. Um, and it takes a little bit of time. All right, Lightning Shield. All right, put invisibility onto the Archmage. Archmage, well, getting ensnared. Invisibility was in time there. No purge onto that Archmage. Lightning Shield now onto the Tauren Chieftain, who might want to try to rack up a little bit more damage. Gets dispelled again. This is not looking good for Sok. Sok now down to, well, down to 46 supply. That Tauren Chieftain, Lightning Shield, Shockwave, 1-2 combination seems to be working out very well. And thematically, Infi's Orc is playing much more like the World of Warcraft Orc, knowing for using those elements. A Shockwave, an Earth-based attack, Lightning Shield, and a Chain Lightning, just constantly lobbing attacks against this human army. All right, Scroll of Town Portal forced to be used, though, as the Tauren Chieftain is down to 103 hit points. Spellbreaker ends up getting taken out, and we're looking at 43 supply compared to 50. Infi does have an Expo set up behind this. Meanwhile, we are looking at Sok speed building his Expo as well, as the main bases are starting to get into that low category. All right, Goblin Alchemist will be able to get to level 3. It looks like Acid Bomb was the ability of the moment. Acid Bomb right there. And what is this? Tome of Intelligence being purposely left behind. Gotta believe that is on accident, as the Alchemist makes his way out amongst the field. All right, Spirit Wolf quickly getting destroyed right there. Was it resummoned? Nope, it was quickly just destroyed. I believe a Dispel Magic from one of those priests. Now, priests are at Adept. We are only at Keep. We are not going into Castle at all. And down on the south side, we are nearing a completion on Infi's Great Hall. Sorceress, Priest, Farseer, going to engage. Little bit of an exchange back and forth. Infi with the, well, hero level advantage. Dual level 4 heroes going up against dual level 3. Going to be a bit of an uphill climb. In invisibility on the Alchemist, and it doesn't feel like the Alchemist is going to be that big of a game changer in this upcoming fight. Yeah, acid, a little bit of an acid, a bomb, departing gift, but that's just not gonna be enough. You're looking at the hero choices. There's spellbreakers, sorceresses, and priest, but those spellbreakers, because they are spell immune, well, that means that the Chain Lightning is only going to be bouncing on the more vulnerable targets, those priests and those sorceresses. Alchemist still trying to clear out the remainder of this creep camp here, perhaps try to make up a little bit of that hero level disadvantage and try and overcome, as we see the Null Warden taken down. All right, Expo already under a bit of duress. There is a Shockwave going down across. Peasants are going to be lost. A Chain Lightning following it up. Healing Spray over the wall. Not going to be enough here, as that Arcane Tower quickly gets taken out. A bunch of workers lost here. And now, well, no longer under full saturation. Infi can fight and exchange effectively in this battle. Archmage sitting at level 3. We can see that Spellbreakers are all along that front line spot. Are we going to look at there's a Lightning Shield. Are we going to see a Shockwave? No Shockwave. Level 4 now on the Archmage, as the Chain Lightning now bounces around here. Tauren Chieftain actually coupled a bit too far. Now going to be forced to back away again, as the Spellbreakers got in some damage. Shamans are looking to add in even more, as the Archmage may want to reconsider and change over to Blizzard in order to rack up damage. The Shamans, the Spellbreakers are all in that front line, and with the Shamans out here on the battlefield, they're quickly just getting purged down into nothing and feeding more experience to that Tauren Chieftain and that Farseer. Ensnare now on the Alchemist. There's a Shockwave ripping on through a group of units. However, many of those are Spellbreakers, able to avoid some of that damage again. Tauren Chieftain still trying to line up attacks into the back. Spellbreakers, though the 600 hit point tanky units, are now a bit low on hit points, as many of the priests were taken down with Chain Lightning and Shockwave. the push continues. Soft looks like he should be able to hold and defend here. Meanwhile, there are now full peasants mining away at the gold mine at the expo once more. Perhaps trying to take down all of these peasants again would have been helpful and maintain that economic advantage. Instead, Infi is going to go ahead and retreat. His army just much too slow in trying to dish out that damage, especially as there's no spirit walkers for a good AoE dispel. We're still at Stronghold. We are still at Keep. No fortress or castle. Upgrades are looking very sparse at this stage. Infi's expo down here on the south, not heavily, not heavily defended. Meanwhile, we could be looking at another expo here in just a moment, as the main bases only have about 4 minutes of mining left. All right, Farsi are going to come across here. Arcane Tower, Spirit Wolves ready to engage, dive on in, taking down the farm. I believe, nope, it looks like Infi does have pillage, and here we go. Units getting ready to engage again. Tauren Chieftain going to try and come back around. Are we going to look? Yes, there's the retrain into Blizzard. There's a Shockwave along the back line there. There's a Chain Lightning. But until they're both level 5 abilities, we're not going to see that sudden damage or sudden death of that back line. 61 supply compared to 69. There's that Blizzard retrain here. Raiders are going to try and get some ensnares onto that Archmage, as the Archmage purposely backs himself into a bit of a dangerous corner. All right, Archmage continuing to lob these attacks here. Sorceresses are in the back here. Archmage should try and rain in more Blizzard. There goes another Raider ensnare, as the Raiders need to get focused down quickly. As the Raiders are falling, eventually their cooldowns are going to start targeting, as both the Alchemist and the Archmage have those channeled abilities. All right, Raiders need to get retrained up once more. A good hold by Sock here. Let's look at the Raider count. 1 right now. We're down to 1 Raider. More Raiders need to get trained up, otherwise they are not, or 2 Raiders. They need to get trained up, otherwise they're not going to be able to stop this healing spray channeled ability and that Blizzard channel ability. Alchemist up to nearly 12 armor. High hit points, high armor on that Goblin Alchemist. Very high effective hit points. Yeah, Ring of Protection +4 and +5. Looks like Infi is trying to close the door, but it looks like Sock has found a way to, well, trade efficiently now, as the hero levels are both level 4, but may change drastically in the next coming moments, as Infi's Tauren Chieftain on the cusp of level 5. Now, what is happening next? 71 over 82 supply here. Meanwhile, well, less than 2 minutes of mining on those main bases. No one has taken out these granite golem creeps yet that drop some very powerful items. At some point, at this stage in the game, it is better for Sock to try and well, clear out some difficult red creep camps, and catch up in terms of that experience, because Infi is going to be hitting a wall on how much experience he can gain. If Infi can get to level 5 on both of these heroes, while all of Sock's heroes are still stuck at level 4, you're going to see that level 3 Chain Lightning and level 3 Shockwave just really bounce through that back line quickly. Blizzard now raining down here, and this is, well, opening things up for well, a difficult spot, as the Spellbreakers are able to walk through there without much of an issue. Acid bomb damage over time. Is it going to be enough to take that shaman out? Yes, it does. 10 damage a second. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain, well, Dust of Appearance is revealed, and he's actually going to get caught in a rather difficult spot. There's the Stomp, though. He retrains to Stomp, and that Tauren Chieftain's radius on that Stomp is actually large enough to hit that Archmage there. Chain Lightning still bouncing around here. More healing spray could be coming back, but the Spellbreakers are coming in a position there. There's a massive Stomp, stunning about, well, 10 units, maybe even a dozen, as they are out of commission temporarily, and also stopped that Archmage. All right, who needs ensnares when you have the Tauren Chieftain and Stomp? But the Stomp, well, no longer inbound, as the Tauren Chieftain is now finally out of mana. Archmage still continuing to exchange blows here. Tauren Chieftain down to 258 hit points, has Lightning Shield. There goes an ensnare onto the Archmage. Archmage sitting at level 4. Tauren Chieftain could be in trouble, forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal. There's some more Blizzard now raining down. 62 supply compared to 67. Sok taking the supply lead after that bout of exchanges. Farseer still staying at level 4 after all of that fighting. Tauren Chieftain didn't get that much more experience either. A big win for the Alchemist and that Archmage. What is it going to translate to? Perhaps the death of a couple of peons. Good day, and Telly. Yep. Kodos love to dine and dash, so that is where 6 of that supply is. There goes an ensnare. Peasants or peons are okay. Tauren Chieftain trying to walk his way through. There's level 5 now on the Archmage. Archmage now retraining to level 3 Blizzard as the Alchemist is getting in some heals as well. All right, down goes one grunt here, forcing a Scroll of Town Portal. There goes another grunt. Kodos not able to get any new food into their bellies. 56 supply for Infi compared to Sok. Sok playing a great war of attrition battle, and with that retraining into Blizzard, well, has been able to keep that Archmage alive well and topped off. What is the Alchemist going to follow up and do here? We see an Expo off to the north side. This is quickly going to be placed down and sped build. A Witch Doctor trying to make his way around here. They're going to place down a couple of Watcher Wards. Know where exactly this inbound human army is. All right, Farseer able to easily get away here. No additional gold by Infi at this Expo, and the economic advantage may actually start to get away. There's a little bit of Blizzard. Tauren Chieftain may try to throw down a stomp here. Tauren Chieftain unable to get close enough, though, as the Spellbreakers creating a decent wall. There's another round of Blizzard Kodos trying to catch up to, well, a Spellbreaker of some sort, unable, as that meal just went away out of the grasp of the Kodo Beast. All right, some healing spray to stay alive. Kodo Beast does actually get a chomp on a Spellbreaker. A split second before the Scroll of Town Portal would have taken that Spellbreaker away. I guess that's not really a dine and dash, right? The Spellbreaker was trying to leave, was in the process of dashing, but instead got dined on in that scenario there. 24 minutes into this game, it feels like Sok is starting to really pull away into this game here. Alchemist perhaps going to get closer to level 5 first, and that would be a complete flip in the hero experience, as Infi unsure of what to do next. There are still orange creep camps on Infi's side of the map, and now with the Farseer only 8 experience shy, well, he's definitely going to get to that level 5 ability, or level 5, which gives him, what is he going to go for? Level 3 healing spray. So level 3 healing spray. All right, there's Chain Lightning. Tauren Chieftain is invisible right now. Just looks kind of odd. Scroll of Town Portal inbound. Going to try and, well, find those targets. There's some healing spray there, and down goes those, well, down goes another unit there. All right, that Tauren Chieftain just kind of looks ethereal after using that potion of invisibility. Should be able to place down a stomp onto all of these, onto that backline as he is invisible. Meanwhile, the Watcher Ward really keeping track of where Sok's units are. Now, that is the one thing that Infi has to rely on to get an initial advantage in this opening battle: proper positioning. If he can find a good position to start off the fight and perhaps take down some of these casters in the back, he'll be in a great spot. Quick Dust of Appearance right there reveals that Watcher Ward. So Sok really knowing what is going on at this stage in the game, as we're getting level 1 weapon upgrades for those Spellbreakers. All right, in comes the fight now. A little bit of Blizzard raining down. Units trying to retreat back. Slow not getting applied. Scroll of Speed, however, already underway as the units are trying to retreat back and get away. Kodo Beast could have perhaps dined and dashed on a Spellbreaker, but decided not to. Remember, as soon as a Kodo Beast starts chomping on a Spellbreaker, that's essentially 3 supply lost from the fight that you can't get back Yeah, you can't get back unless you really dive in after that Kodo beast. So you just cannot look at supply numbers, as the hungry Kodos could make a bit of a shift here. All right, let's go into the battle here. There's an acid bomb. Farseer sitting at level 4. There's chain lightning bouncing around all of those units. Like I said, if that Farseer was at level 5, damage would have racked up just a little bit more and a little bit more efficiently. There's a couple of ensnares going after some of those units. Tauren Chieftain is invulnerable, trying to dive on in. Are the Kodo beasts going to be able to get any meals? There's one meal. The second meal could get a dash or dined on here in just a second. Not quite sure where it's going. Farseer trying to double back around. And there you have it. The Kodo beasts now need a, well, perhaps try and retreat back. Couple of grunts going after, or grunt and a shaman going after an illusion off to the side here. Blizzard now raining down, destroying all of those raiders in the back position, as the Kodos are forcing the Spellbreakers at least to try and, well, stagger, step back a little. A lot of low hit point grunts though, and one wave of Blizzard not enough, but the Lightning Shield may end up doing too much. Archmage forced the Scroll of Town Portal away. There's a Lightning Shield onto the Alchemist. Is he gonna, well, perhaps deal any subsequent damage back? No, and then Infi realizes the situation and gives the GG. Infi leaving the game here, knowing that economically he is just too far behind, would not have been able to recover and get back in. Let's take a look at the final scores. Yeah, Sock, who was actually behind for quite a bit of time, ends up taking the lead there in all 3 categories. He was behind on units, he was behind on hero level, behind on resources, and, well, just slowly but surely was able to get that advantage back. Sock's tower attempt failed, but Infi didn't really seem to capitalize on that failed tower attempt by doing any more creeping. I think if Infi got to level 5 substantially earlier than Sox, which he could have maintained that momentum, kept Sock off balance, and eventually got away with the victory. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.